Hey Danny, how you doing, man?
I'm very well, Lewis. How are you?
I am well, thank you. We've got a lot to talk about in this episode. Holy shit!
Yeah, we do. It's pretty big one.
Yeah, Chibbers seems to have a habit of flip-flopping between enormously complicated episodes and perfectly sedentary episodes.
Yeah. Big slurp of tea there.
Sorry, you're still drinking your tea through a straw.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a golden straw. It's not a pasta one. We call back now. Okay, so
this is Ascension of the Cybermen.
Yes, it's episode 9.
Yep.
And it was written by Chris Chibnall, Big Chibbers, Big Chibnall, and it was directed by
the Chibster.
Oh God, do you think people called him that at uni? It's also directed by Jamie Magnus Stone, and it's starring Jodie Whittaker, Bradley Walsh, Mandip Gill, Tosin Cole, and spoilers, Sacha Dhawan for about 3 seconds.
Oh crikey! When are they going to use Sacha Dhawan more? He was really good in that first episode or whatever it was.
I know.
And they've given him like 10 seconds of screen time since. Come on, man.
I hope he's in the next one. Imagine he just sort of came at the port and was just like, "Yeah, I'm off. See you later." And just fucks off.
Bye. And he just goes back into the portal and leaves. Oh God. Have you got an opening statement?
I do. An intricate setup that is sure to be one hell of a finale. Now let's see if they can stick the landing.
Yeah. Pretty much exactly the same as mine. Lots to talk about in this one. Lots of things happening. Seems like they're trying to squeeze together the Sacha Dhawan arc and the Cyberman arc. Not sure how I feel about it. I feel like they could have tied the two of them together a bit better earlier in the series.
Yeah.
But I think the mystery is what keeps us guessing. The mystery is what keeps you going, "Oh, I wonder what's happening in Doctor Who."
The Master has quite a extensive history with the Cybermen.
I am almost entirely unaware of this.
Well, they would always team up in classic era. Missy used them.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
To conquer the world, and then she was in with John Sim with the Cybermen as well. So pretty interconnected. But we'll see. We'll see.
Oh, aye.
Now I've wrote notes here, and I was writing them as I was watching it, and it was just little daft things. They got down there fast, so I'm gonna assume that means that when they were on the hill talking, and then it cut to those two other characters, I've probably just written down when it cuts back to them. It's like, oh, they got down there fast. So a lot of my notes this episode will be like that, just fucking incoherent nonsense.
That's how I do my notes, is incoherent nonsense, and have to translate it for the viewing public. Here we go, here's a nonsense one. Why did the flying wands?
Wow.
That's good. Anyway,
it's just...
when I first tuned into this episode, and we were in rural Ireland, and a baby was in the middle of the road, I genuinely thought I'd accidentally put Call the Midwife on for a second. Because I watched it on iPlayer, and so I was skipping through, and they were like next to each other. And I clicked Doctor Who, and I was like, "Hey, there's some kind of cock up somewhere." But yeah, I mean, I liked it. Don't get me wrong. I'm a big fan of really weird, fuck with your head type stuff happening in those very rural settings.
Yeah.
Like I've got this book which I still haven't finished. It's like a collection of short stories, and it's about this like paranormal sort of detective agency type people that are like kind of police, kind of not, and like it all takes place in these sort of semi-rural areas and like seaside areas, but like really fucky, weird, horrible things are happening, and it's really cool. But yeah, I liked that. I was bored by the Brendan arc the whole way through, right up until the end when his dad and the dead police commissioner or whatever it was stood outside the police station. It's like, "Come on, Brendan, let's get into the back room, mate." I enjoyed that.
I think that's why they made it just short little segments, because it's almost as if, like, you know that comic strip in Watchmen.
Yeah, the Curse of the Black Freighter.
Yeah, I think it felt a bit like that. It's like, oh, yeah, that means something. What does that mean? But it didn't. It didn't derail from the entire story for me. It was just a sort of nice little which I think is going to set up something big.
My personal theory is that the lone Cyberman is Brendan.
I thought that as well, but then I thought, okay, well, why are they two younger? So maybe Brendan is a Time Lord and the Chameleon Arch is over his head.
Maybe. I do like the sound of that. That would explain the screaming as well.
Yeah.
And maybe the police station is his TARDIS? Oh, I don't know. But yeah, I have no idea how Ruth ties into anything at all. Like I could see, Brendan is maybe a Time Lord, or Brendan is the timeless child. Maybe if he's a very robust human, it must be said, to get shot and pushed off a cliff, and he just gets up and carries on running. So maybe he's like an alien, or yeah, I get what you mean.
I don't know, but I'm interested. So
I'm engaged with it.
Now I have a nitpick, Lewis.
Okay.
Why are the two cyber drones that follow the lone Cyberman from Pete's world? Because they're not Cybermen from our universe. They're parallel Cybermen. That's the design.
How do you know that?
Because remember, in series 2.
Yeah.
Where they went to the TARDIS sort of fell out of the time vortex.
Oh no, yeah, don't get me wrong. I remember the Lumic stuff and I remember all that. My point is, how do you know that these Cybermen are from that alternate reality?
Because it's the same design.
Yeah, but it's like you give a dozen monkeys a dozen typewriters and they'll write out everything eventually. It's like, if the Cybermen are constantly coming up with new designs, it stands to reason that maybe they could have been some kind of a prototype that was discontinued or something.
Yeah, but the Cybermen in our universe, or in the real universe, are much more advanced than Lumic was.
That's very true, actually. Yeah, like they've got that super fast walking-y thing.
Yeah, and the old sort of the design that they were beforehand was that what do you call it? You know, the one in Nightmare in Silver.
Yeah,
Where they can fly and run. That was like the previous, and now they've dropped back. I don't know, but I don't understand why they've went to a parallel design.
They were pretty beaten up, those Cybermen were. So maybe it's just a case of they are an old design because they are old.
Maybe. But I think we all know the real reason, and it's because the BBC have got like a load of those suits lying about. So
I've got to use these for something. Come on.
Yeah.
One thing I did think was those Cybermen were rusty, but like, what? It's like it's not beyond human technology to make a metal that doesn't rust.
Yeah, that's true.
Can't the Cybermen crack that?
Yeah.
It's a bit weird. Also, have they been spending much time like at the bottom of lakes where they're starting to go rusty? That was weird. A tiny little thing, but
yeah.
Once I saw it, I couldn't not see it.
Yeah, it was. It's raining, by the way. That's what that noise is. It's fucking shocking. I mean, it waits all morning. It hasn't rained all morning, and then suddenly do a podcast, and then it shits out some piss.
I have a sort of nitpick question statement thing.
Go on.
In that Matt Smith episode where they were in the theme park world planet moon thing, the cyber bloke that Matt Smith was playing chess against said that they can now convert anything, be it Time Lord or human or anything.
Yep.
They'd like advanced to a point where they could convert anything. But a couple of times the Doctor said in this, no, humans are what it wants. Humans are the only thing it can convert. I'll be fine. It doesn't want me. So was that a lie, or was that...
Well, I think it's the same case of, as they devolve, they can only use human material. And I think that the Cybermen at that point were so advanced that they could just upgrade any material.
Yeah.
But what's so annoying is that the history of this great shadowy empire is just so vague and so foggy. Yeah,
the Cyber Empire.
Yeah, where does that fit in? Where does that fit into the really advanced Cyber Empire that was and got destroyed in Nightmare and Silver? What time zone are we in?
That's another thing that gets me about why is this the first that we are hearing about the cyber wars? Why 12 series in? Is this the first we're hearing about this? Do you know what I mean? I can understand it's not an old Who for whatever reason, but Why is this the first we're hearing about this? Because if the Cybermen exist to conquer and upgrade everything, shouldn't they be constantly at war? Why is there a specific section of time dedicated to the cyber wars?
Yes.
I just don't get. It's just weird as hell, right?
Another.
Also, we always seem to see Cybermen when they've just come off something bad. Like in, I think it was Nightmare in Silver, when they were like, yeah, we've hunted them almost to extinction, but there's like 1 or 2 left, and Warwick Davis was there running around and stuff.
Yeah.
But like, we've never really seen Cybermen at the height of their power. They've always been either about to conquer something, or they've just been defeated by something.
I think that sort of takes away, though, because it's the point it's a sort of Frankenstein monster where selfish people make them, and then it turns against them. I think that's the formula that they've sort of followed. But it would be nice to see, like, almost like a sort of, if Chibnall wants to redo Doctor Who, maybe the next big baddie, the big Time War thing, it would just be the Cyber Wars. I mean,
yeah,
that would be interesting. Because the Cybermen have had a bad time of it in this show. They're just sort of used as, the Cybermen, but it's really about the Master at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
But I like the lone Cyberman. I like the fact that he's got feelings. I like the fact that he's against his programming.
Yes, that was something I liked, was how he was sort of like, he spoke about the cyber cult, as it were, as though it were a religion, and he was talking about glory and honor as like this warrior religion sort of thing, and I liked that, because I suppose my sort of theory, I suppose it's not really a theory, it's more of an assumption that I've made in my head, is like the lone Cyberman is a Cyberman who was driven mad by the lack of an emotional inhibitor, but for whatever reason it didn't kill him, but he, in the madness or some kind of battle, you're off his face torn off, or, like I say, it's not a very complete theory, but that's what I come to it is if his emotional inhibitor is broken, you'd sort of suppose he would justify being a Cyberman by saying it's glorious, it's honourable,
true.
It's a religious statement to some degree.
That's very true, I agree.
Because you think if you had the hive mind whispering in your head sort of thing, then could that not be likened to a god or gods whispering in your head and telling you what to do and whatever it might be?
And why do the cyber sort of drones follow him then? Do you think because they're so lit, because, well, we've been defeated, so the only logical move is to try something different, maybe?
I sort of supposed that he'd hacked them or something in some way, like what you saw him doing to the Cybermen that were in the pods, and he got his weird arc welder thing that's mounted on his wrist and like started hacking into them. That was, I presumed he'd done that to these other Cybermen, and
I'm gonna find it very hard to believe if the new cyber army doesn't turn on him. And I think that what will happen is he'll end up sacrificing himself.
Yeah, to fulfill whatever cause he thinks.
Yeah.
Because what I could see happening was if this lone Cyberman has like changed their protocols, so it's not like default to the highest ranking person in your platoon for command. It's default to the cyber bloke, lone Cyberman. Yeah,
because they refer to him as leader, and Cybermen just download themselves into other Cybermen when a leader is killed.
Yeah, like we saw in the Lumic universe.
Yeah.
Of designation Cyber King has not been filled, or designation Cyber General has been killed. I am now Cyber General, and yeah, like you say, they did downloading themselves into each other and stuff.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Right, maybe I'm being too cynical about this, but if you land on a ship in the middle of what used to be a battle, and you're thinking, oh, this is like a war carrier, it's carrying things for war. What, realistically, it's not going to be carrying guns in a ship that big. It's going to be carrying something bigger. And it's not going to be vehicles, because what good is a tank in space?
Yeah.
It's going to be Cybermen. Why did they not assume that straight away? Yeah, this ship is full of Cybermen.
And why is there air?
Yeah.
On the ships? Why do the Cybermen bother to put air in? They don't need it.
No, maybe it's a sound conductor or something, or maybe they wouldn't even need that.
Oh, I know what it might be. A plot hole. I think, no, we can't complain too much, can we? Maybe
I am
we
enjoying
could justify
this series.
it with well, there's human flesh in Cybermen, so maybe they need
oxygen or whatever.
Air.
Yeah,
but we've seen them in space, so I don't know. Who cares? it's a nitpick. It's a nitpick.
One thing that I was sort of hoping would happen, like I think both of us have said, we think Graham is going to die at some point.
Yeah.
I was expecting automated systems on the ships to detect humans and start converting them, and I thought Graham was going to get picked up and thrown into a conversion machine or something.
Yeah, and
that would have been a fantastic twist.
It really would have been.
Yeah, Bradley Walsh Cyberman. Yeah.
Someone has to go though.
Yeah, definitely.
One of the supporting cast. Just not because I have a grudge against them, but just from like a story perspective, this is a big event and everything is coming together. If everyone makes it out okay, it's just going to feel really cheap.
Oh yeah.
And it's just going to be, oh, for fuck's sake. I mean, you've spent a good amount of time. See for all the nitpicks that we do, I have to say, Chibnall has, to give him credit, he's set up something pretty big. And there's
Definitely,
a lot of moving parts, and he's given himself quite a hard time to sort of make those parts come together. But I'm really, actually very excited for the next episode to see what he does.
Oh god, yeah, definitely. Even if it is something a bit shit, I'm going to be glad that he's done something different. Do you know what I mean? He hasn't just played it safe.
Definitely,
and
I agree.
One thing that always astounds me, not just about this, but about a lot of different sci-fi, is how like much, not like emotionally affected, but like the screams of the Cybermen. I was genuinely thought they were horrible. They were really gross, and I didn't like them. They were like really repulsive to me to some degree. And the thing it reminded me of was that bit from Ex Machina, where one of the prototype droid people is smashing down the door with their arms, and then like their hands splinter off, and it goes on like that until they've got no arms, basically. And at the time, I thought that was really gross. Like I felt sick. It was disgusting, even though it's just circuit boards and plastic and wires, and do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a sort of interesting thing, I think, for me. These sort of semi-human things are still gross to me in some way. I think that's the interesting part of this thing about the Cybermen is, yes, they are robots, but they can be anthropomorphized to some great degree.
Yeah.
And I think it's interesting to do that and to think about that.
It's amazing how they actually were allowed to be made, because Sidney Newman, the head writer for Doctor Who back in the 60s, he didn't want any robots. Like he was very angry with Verity Lambert, who I believe was the producer, when she brought him the Daleks. He was like, he's American, he's absolutely raging. He was like, why would you? I said I didn't want any bug-eyed monsters or robots or anything like that.
Yeah.
And obviously it's more complicated with the Daleks. Do you know what I mean? It's like Doctor Who is so good at taking these age-old concepts and twisting them about, and yet they're still adding things that we haven't seen. Have we ever seen an emotional Cyberman play such a prevalent role in the series? I don't think we have.
No, the only sort of even semi-similar thing we had was Yvonne Hartman. When she got converted to a Cyberman, she was like, I did my duty, and then she started crying out of her Cyberman eye holes and started killing Cybermen.
Eye holes! They're my eye holes!
This guy comes in and kicks the shit out of you, but they're worth it, Morty.
Danny Pink as well.
Yes,
yeah, he just sort of, I still love you, even though that was dumb.
Yeah, I didn't quite get why he still had a face. I know that sounds stupid, but like, surely the point of the Cybermen is that they're like the ultimate fusion of man and machines, which would mean removing the extraneous parts of man to replace them with better versions of machines. Yeah. So like if you're replacing your skin with metal, then you don't need the skin. Mm-hmm. And I can get that the eyes are like a very good camera essentially, but why would you have skin and hair and that's weird to me.
I mean, like, what was it? It was like, oh, he still loves Clara, and the Doctor was like, because love, it's not an emotion. Love is a promise, and he will never hurt her. It's like, wait a minute. Yes, I understand that he loved her, but he's not himself anymore. That's the whole point. Love is so strong it overcomes incredibly advanced technology. No, it's not how it works.
I suppose the only thing you could come back to is maybe it's some kind of a flaw in the cyber tech, is that if they can't get to the centre of the brain quite efficiently enough, and some kind of electrochemical reaction that happens.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's how you'd try and justify it, isn't it?
Yeah, but they didn't. They didn't do that. I'm afraid.
No, which sucks.
Yeah, it does.
I have a statement.
Go on.
I really like these new Cybermen.
Oh, they look so cool.
Yeah, they're like kind of retro and cool
Yeah.
and interesting. It's like it has the cool sort of almost Iron Man-y bits of like the most recent Cybermen, but it also has that really old school Mondasian helmet type
That's
thing.
right.
It's really cool. I like it a lot.
They look so cool. I swear to Christ, right?
Yeah.
See if next episode Gold defeats them. I swear to fuck. Like they gave a little reference to it, which was lovely. I really enjoyed that when they were like, does Gold kill Cybermen? It's like, so it is said. It's like, yeah, that's cool. That's cool. That's a nice little throwback to classic Who. But I swear to God, if like the Dalek in Resolution was beaten by a fucking George Foreman grill, right? If they use Gold to stop the Cybermen, I will be pissed.
God, can you imagine that if the Doctor's just like running through them, just throwing gold dust in their faces? Oh God! Because that's
Chibnall, please, listen to us. Do not do this to yourself. And you can so tell he's so tempted, isn't he? You can hear it, and you can hear his mind just going, What if it was Gold that did it? Oh, that'd be amazing.
The thing that gets me about it, though, this is a very nerdy thing to say, but in that Nightmare in Silver episode where they are on this theme park planet, the cyber bloke that's in Matt Smith's head, cyber planner. He says, because the Doctor smashes a gold ticket on his face to stop the cyber planner getting, which is insane. But the cyber planner then says, that they've patched the weakness to Gold. Yeah. So would that still work now, or is the Doctor just saying, well, maybe if they were really fucked when we found them, they might have somehow backtracked and lost that code or something?
Yeah. Even that annoys me. Even though it's fairly innocuous, it still annoys me. Because was it really gold? Wasn't it just a bit of paper that was coloured in gold? Yeah, it was a sweetie wrapper. Does it contain actual gold fragments in it? It's just, Now
I've just got a vision of like the Cybermen all stood in one room and Jodie Whittaker overhead on a gantry with like those enormous pepper grinders you get in like Italian restaurants, and she's like filling it with gold and turning the head feverishly, and sprinkling gold dust on all these Cybermen. Oh God. As much as I don't want that to happen, I kind of do now.
Yeah, just so we can feel right about it.
Yeah.
So we've got more comedy to exploit. There are many amazing writers in this country, Lewis.
There are.
I really do hope that they don't do that. That would. I mean,
it would be ludicrous, and I think if it was a sketch, like if it was, we've done a comic relief, we've done a Doctor Who does comic relief or whatever, then I'd be fine with it. But like, when they've been building up to this all series, and it's literally ends up just being Jodie Whittaker throwing gold dust in the eyes of Cybermen or something stupid. Yeah,
that would be. But it hasn't happened yet, so we can't moan at you.
No, you're right.
You gave your little classic Who reference. It was lovely. Everyone had a nice time with it, but it's time to move on now. You've got to think of a better way to deal with this problem. That's the major problem that writers have. They set up this amazing conflict, and then they just massively dodge it. Just sort of jump out the way. It's like, oh! Here's some gold. Oh.
Oh, I've got a bit of a dialogue nitpick.
Oh, go on.
I know that it's like a 2-part episode, but this is one of my greatest help things. Is that great, make sequels to stuff, but the things themselves still need to be able to stand alone. Like Back to the Future is a good example of, like, they knew they were making a second film because they made it at the same time as the first film, but the first film is still serviceable as a unique single thing.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, that's what gets me about that. But then in this episode, right in the last 10 seconds, Sacha Dhawan looks at the Doctor and goes, everything is about to change forever. It's like, and then immediately it's the end of the episode. And you're like, well, come on now. I get you want me to tune in next week, but let's face it, I'm going to do that anyway.
Yeah. I mean, it's I think it's really difficult. Like, if you've set up this massive sort of Endgame type thing, let Marvel films, you know, Endgame doesn't stand on its own.
It really doesn't.
You have to know what happened beforehand, and I don't think it's It doesn't bother me because I know that it's been set up, and I know, and you know, I've put both my feet in to see what happens. So I don't, like, even back in like Russell T Davies era, like, you know, like Utopia, and The Sound of the Drums, like, Utopia sort of started off as a lone story, but the end of the story is very much tailored to the sort of 3-part finale.
Yeah, that's true.
And all the events that happen to the human beings who leave the sort of silo base and then go to Utopia, even they're brought back in the next episode as the Toclophane. So it's like, I think it's just really difficult to do that. Yeah,
you're probably right with that.
But you know. But I'm really excited. I can't wait to see what he does.
I'm really excited too. Yeah, I think
which is a great credit, because I haven't really been this excited about Doctor Who for quite a while.
Oh god, yeah. I think it's that thing you said before about Chibnall is the first writer in ages who's willing to sort of throw shit at the wall and see if it sticks.
Yeah, and
he's willing to do some weird shit on the off chance that it's great.
Now, I don't know if that's a good thing.
Okay.
It seems to be a bad thing, but, you know, it's because you're taking a huge risk.
Yeah.
If you're just picking up a bit of shit and throwing it at the wall, just saying, well, it might stick. You know, it's just like, it doesn't seem, but like, creativity and like unique ideas. I love that. I love how they've set up the Cybermen. I have to say, I thought that Captain Jack would be more involved.
Yeah.
With the Cybermen, because he sort of heralds it.
Yeah.
And yet he's not going to be in it until next series. So,
which is dumb as hell, right?
Yeah, it does seem dumb. But who knows?
I'm dead excited. Although I have to say, I was watching the trailer for the next week's episode. There was a bit where Sacha Dhawan says to someone, "Oh, I'm not going to kill you," and it just made me think of that bit from Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Sacha Dhawan, I'm not gonna kill you.
I'm not gonna kill you.
Oh god. But anyway.
But how do we know he's a bad guy if it isn't tattooed on his forehead?
Oh god. I keep coming back to the fact that in that first episode of the series, or whatever the fuck it was that Sacha Dhawan was in, the Master didn't need to put on a Nazi uniform, but he chose to. That's my big weird thing with this series, is this Master seems obsessed with showmanship in a very weird way.
He does. I like his outfit though.
Oh, aye.
That's a purplish outfit. I really like that. That's pretty cool. Right, Lewis, what are your major theories for next episode?
Oh, well, I think that it's going to turn out that the lone Cyberman is Brendan, and I think Brendan was a bloke who, at some point in his life, was catapulted into space wearing a spacesuit, and then was ejected from the capsule without the spacesuit being properly sealed, and then was very close to death before he was picked up by a cyber ship, and his brain was sufficiently damaged by lack of oxygen that they couldn't fit an emotional inhibitor, so it became the lone Cyberman.
Okay.
That's what I think. And now for some evidence to support my claims. the lone Cyberman with his sleeve thing on the one arm that's got blown off, and he's got a human hand on one arm.
Yeah.
It looks like a spacesuit that stops at the wrist.
Yeah.
And this is my entire theory comes from that one detail. So it's all hanging on a very loose thread, but
that's amazing.
I think it'd be cool.
Fair enough. So, do you think we're going to find out who the Timeless Child is?
Oh, I reckon the Timeless Child is Brendan, or it is no one. It's a metaphor.
Right. Yeah. It's gonna be like the hybrid.
Yeah.
So I became the hybrid, and you're sat there thinking, wait, is he the hybrid? Is Missy the hybrid? I don't. Is it two people? I don't fucking know. Let's just move on to series 10, please. And oh god, I no, I can't rant about series 9 anymore. It's gonna fucking kill me. I think that, as I've said, one of the companions is gonna bite the dust. I think Brendan is probably gonna realise that what he's doing is foolish, and I think he's gonna probably end up sacrificing himself to stop the Cybermen.
So do you think Brendan is the lone Cyberman?
Yeah, I keep calling him Brendan now. I mean, it's fuck's sake. I don't know. The lone Cyberman will become more human, and he'll sort of have a change of heart, I think, and that'll play a big part into how they're defeated. Or maybe, plot twist, this will carry on into series.
Oh my god, if it does, I might kill myself.
Yeah, it's like
that would annoy me so fucking much.
I wonder what the Master's gonna do.
Oh,
where
knows.
does he fit into this?
I wonder. One thing I do wonder is if it's going to be the same as Spyfall, where Sacha Dhawan was clearly putting in much more effort than anybody else. I wonder if it's going to be like that again, the finale. And Sacha Dhawan's proper giving it some, but everybody else is like, I'm just going to do my performance, mate.
Yeah,
I'm just going to stand here and be my character.
He sells the hell out of that performance.
He really does.
But yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen. What
I do want to see in the finale is I want to see at least one character die from Team TARDIS.
Yep.
I want to see more weird cyber tech that doesn't make any sense.
Yep.
Like the cyber drones. Have they got a human head inside them? Who fucking knows?
Yeah, that's a good point.
And the third thing I would like to see is what is the lone Cyberman doing to the cyber troops? Is he reprogramming them? Is he just cutting out their emotional inhibitors? Is he making them like him? How does it work?
Yeah, because he did one, and then one of his guards did another one. Is like, are they doing all of them? I don't know.
One thing I don't want to see is I don't want to see all the cyber ships explode. I don't want to see like a Avengers style where the mothership gets destroyed and all of them flop down dead. That's what I don't want.
There's gonna be a command node, and someone's gonna destroy it.
The Doctor will reverse the polarity on the command node, and the Cybermen's heads will explode.
Yeah.
But I don't want that to happen. But it probably will. Let's be honest. It
probably will happen. Or the portal, the sort of big boundary will suck them all in, like at the end of Doomsday.
Yeah.
I don't know, but we'll see.
What do we think's happening with Gallifrey? Predictions, theories?
I think Gallifrey is gonna maybe I don't know, because it's so difficult to determine what's gonna happen, because
we've had so little.
Yeah, and the writing hasn't been consistently good or consistently bad enough to determine the outcome, if you know what I mean. There's been some fucking shocking episodes, and there have been some pretty good episodes. So it's just like, you can normally gauge with a writer, and throughout the series, whether they've all been bad, but it's been a mixed bag. I don't know, but it's going to be interesting, and it most likely will be disappointing. But I hope it isn't. I hope that he does really well, because I think he deserves it.
I think what I want more than anything is just something weird to happen. I don't want them to do something they've done before, and I don't want them to dodge any kind of conclusion. I want something weird. I want the lone Cyberman to suddenly make all the Cybermen feel love, or something weird. I want something weird that works somehow. That's what I want. Even if it's shit, I want something weird.
Yeah, you're asking for a lot, Lewis. You're like, I want a follow up to this story without making it feel like a follow up to the story. I want something weird to happen that works within the confines of the story, but not too weird that it just fucking becomes shit. And I want to see none of them blow up.
Yeah, that's my wish list. Is I don't want to see the Cybermen blow up, and I want something weird to happen.
Yeah,
that's
and no
my
gold.
wish list.
No fucking gold. Stop it.
What about cleaning fluid? Does that
Oh
come under the
God!
umbrella?
What was the other thing where he sort of wiped sort of a black substance on his chest or something like that in classic Who?
I've got no idea.
I can't remember. But anyway, this has been a long one. It's almost 40 minutes now.
It has. It's a lot to talk about in these ones.
That's true. That's true. Well,
I think that might be the end of it. Have we got to do some cheeky shilling, or do we not shill?
I think we've got closing statements to do.
Oh, we do, crikey.
You go first, Lewis.
I'm looking forward to seeing where this is going, although, Christ, it could be a train wreck. Lots of potential. Let's see if they take a good swing and make shit happen. Good old Chibbers.
Okay. Pissing my pants with excitement.
Wow.
There you go. So there you go. That's it.
Well, who doesn't love it?
Yeah. Anyway.
Shill time? Have you got your important piece of paper?
We shall shill
mercilessly.
Yep. I'm on Instagram at O'Hiram. I'm on Facebook at Daniel Kerr. I'm on Twitter that I don't really use at Kerzo2000. What are you on, Lewis?
I'm on Instagram at Lewis_Brindley, Twitter at LewisBrindley4, and I have a Facebook page, Lewis Brindley.
Yeah, we're hosted by Podomatic.
We are?
We're on Spotify. We're on Apple Podcasts. We've got a YouTube channel. We might be on Deezer, but no one gives a fuck. And we've got a PayPal donate button. And we've got a Patreon. So get your ass over there, empty your pockets, and give us money!
we both love doing this. It would mean the world to have some support that we can use to make more and more great content.
Yeah, you really need to start, because I'm getting evicted next week. And the bailiffs are coming. I'm just going to pretend I'm not in.
We're going to see you next week for the story where gold dust makes all the Cybermen blow up.
Yeah, the return of the gold dust. That's what it's called.
Yep, that's it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening.